Family, what is good? Top of the morning to you. Want to holler at y'all about my week 14 picks. Last week one was very crazy, and I expect a little more craziness this weekend because we're getting closer to the playoffs. Teams are really trying to establish themselves. December is here, and it's just gonna get a little crazy. It's gonna get a little crazy, but it's gonna be fun to watch. Like case in point, first game we got Texans versus the Bears. Here's why this game interests me. We got Deshaun Watson coming to Chicago. Texans have a lot of issues, and guess what? Quarterback ain't one of them. When they drafted Deshaun Watson, I told y'all Texans received a gift. Because guess what? Chicago should have never let him pass. Not only did you let him pass, you trade up to take Mitchell Trubisky. And what's the biggest question mark on the Chicago Bears? Quarterback. I mean, and everything they're going through, you got their coach calling out the team, saying they need to show more heart, and they respond by laying an egg last week, especially defensively. For that reason, I like the Texans. Now we got the Cowboys at Bengals. Two bad football teams who are going nowhere this year. Cowboys have a little more hope for next year. Maybe. But Joe Burrow come back. Who knows? By default, I'm going to take the Cowboys because they can at least move the football. Cincinnati can't even do that. Chiefs at the Dolphins. I'm taking the Chiefs, and not for the reasons you think, because everybody just looks at the Chiefs as, oh, they're going to check it all over the place. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. But guess what? When you look at the Chiefs and how they play football, and you look at the Dolphins and the way they play defense, the one thing they do well is stop the pass. They're one of the best at stopping the pass this year. They can get after the quarterback, and they have good corners. But guess what? What they're going to do, covering the middle of the field. Safeties, covering the running back side of the backfield. What they're going to do against the run. Dolphins are suspect against the run. So for these reasons, I still think the Chiefs win. It's not going to be those 42-20 games. It'll be a 24-17 game. Chiefs still get the W on the road. Next, we got the Cardinals at my Giants. Giants pulled off the upset of the year, going in there with their backup quarterback and beating the Let Russ Cook Seahawks in Seattle. I mean, for that alone, Joe Judge has to be in the conversation for Coach of the Year. I think it should go to Mike Tomlin, but he has to be in the conversation. What is happening right now? As y'all know, I was on the fence as to if the Giants should go for the division title. But I think what they're trying to do, and what Washington is trying to do, and they are doing, is establishing culture. And that means a lot. And everybody's following suit. Culture of accountability. Those who know me know I love that word, accountability. And I love what they're doing. I look at the fact that the Cardinals came there last year. They came there last year and played a tight football game. They won 27-21. But that was with Daniel Jones giving up the football. Guess what? Chandler Jones ain't there this year to get those strip sacks, to get those turnovers. So Daniel Jones will be starting, but I don't think there'll be the turnovers. Giants can run the football, and they have a much better defense this year, without question. I like my guys. Vikings at Bucks. Bucks are coming off a bye. And another reason, very simple. Bucks have the best run defense in football. You shut down the run, you shut down Minnesota. Sorry. You shut down the run, you shut down Minnesota. End of story. Tailor-made for them. It's like styles make fights. It's a bad matchup for Minnesota. I like Tommy and the Bucks. Panthers at Broncos. Both teams are going nowhere this year, but I think the Panthers have a better future. It's sad that I still have this question mark over Drew Lock as far as what he is. I don't really know where to put him, and I can't really completely blame him. I don't think he's been completely groomed and developed properly. So at the very least, I would know what he is. And I think that's more or less coaching. I think Vic Fangio is a great defensive mind. I don't think they've had the right offensive minds with him. They put some good talent around him finally, but I don't think he has the great offensive mind around him. But it remains to be seen. In this game, I'll take the Panthers. We have the Titans on the road against Jacksonville. I like the Titans. We have the Colts on the road in Vegas. Vegas needs this game just to keep their slim playoff berth hopes alive. I love what John Gruden is building. I just think with all the picks, he has to use all of them correctly. And a couple of them, Cleveland Ferrell, I look at Cleveland Ferrell, I don't think he'll be a bad football player, but you could have had Josh Allen, the pass rusher in Jacksonville. Just that one pick would change. Think if you had him opposite Crosby, how that defense would look. Ferrell had a damn good game against that great rookie left tackle that the Jets had. But outside that, that's all he's done all year. Those are only sacks he's had all year. That's saying something to me. Raiders really do respond at home, but what the Colts have is a running game and defense, and as long as Phillip Rivers is protecting the football, I think they'll win. We have the Jets at Seahawks, so basically what the Seahawks get to do is get to exact revenge on the Jets for what the Giants did to them. And this game's going to get ugly real fucking quick. Watch. One New York team, the next New York team come through the very next week. Oh, foot the ass. This game's going to get ugly fast. Take the Seahawks. Packers at Lions. Is Aaron Rodgers playing? Yeah. There's nothing else to talk about. If Aaron Rodgers playing, there's nothing to talk about. Packers. Now we got Taysom Hill, who looked a lot better against the Falcons, even though the Falcons had chances to win that game. Looked a lot better, but you have Saints, who probably have the best defense in football playing right now, to give them the edge right now over Pittsburgh. And I understand this in Philly, but you got Jalen Hurts playing. And he's the alternative to a horrible Carson Wentz. Yeah. Wait, he's the alternative to a horrible Carson Wentz. Oh my God. Like you saw a couple of weeks ago what the Saints did to a fucking practice squad rookie wide receiver playing quarterback. I think this time this game is going to look like that. Saints. Big. Falcons at Chargers, and I feel sorry for Anthony Lynn, but he's out the door. I expect the Chargers, I would hope the Chargers will come back with more fight. I would really hope they come back with more fight after getting shut out the way they did last week. But I think they're quitting on him. And I like the Falcons. Raheem Morris at least got the Falcons playing hard. Washington, like I said, is another team that's developing a culture. And that's big. Because whether they win the division or not, and they actually have a better chance because the rest of their schedule than what my Giants have. However, talk about establishing a culture. Kyle Shanahan has already established a culture in San Fran. He's already established a culture, and that Washington defense, though, I told y'all about that front line. I love that front line, and because of that, San Fran has so many people out. That attrition to that front line is why I'm going to give this game to Washington. Steelers at Buffalo. Steelers lost their first game. I think that was a scheduling loss. But the problem with it, defensively, they're losing too many players to injury. Secondly, on offense, they have a good offensive line, decent running backs, but they can't really run the football. They're throwing the ball literally too much in running situations. It's too much, way too much. And you playing an AFC North and you can't run the football, especially the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is what you do. It's not going to bode well. Buffalo, quiet as cat. They were in my top 5. Y'all see me post it. And they can just literally do a bunch of everything. And Josh Allen has developed them into being the truth this year. I got to call a spade a spade. I'm taking Buffalo. Ravens at the Browns. I'm actually going to take the Browns, and I'm going to take the Browns for this reasoning. Baker played great. Lights out. Both teams need everything to go by the script. Both teams. But the Browns have more areas of their team that are going according to the script. If y'all know what I mean. The Ravens' offensive line isn't really that good. They've had injuries. Browns' offensive line is that good. Ravens' defense looks good when they're playing with a lead. What happens when they're not playing with a lead? Cleveland will rush the passer no matter when. With a lead, without a lead, it won't matter. As a passer, Baker or Lamar, that's kind of a toss-up. Runner, of course, Lamar. I think Baker, of course, has way more weapons. I give the edge to Baker. It'll be a good football game. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Those are my picks. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you feel. It's your boy, Urban Sports Guru. I'm out. Salute.